out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing. There is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make sense. Hi everyone, I hope you are doing just splendidly today. The arrangements for today's chat with Marvin went so quickly and smoothly that it nearly feels weird to sit here with him at the moment. I must give him that. When one asks Marvin to help out, he is always willing. I really appreciate that. I have been watching Marvin's personal growth over the last couple of years and get a warm feeling in my heart when I see how successful he is in this seriously difficult and competitive entertainment industry. He seems to be living a beautifully balanced life with a significant spiritual slant. Let's hear more about this, shall we? Right, after this false start, let's see if we can get it right this time. Thank you very much for coming through. I really appreciate it. I know that, we're all busy, and to get somebody to come through on what day is it? Wednesday afternoon is quite a mission, but I'm glad that we got it right. So thank you very much. So how are you doing?
It's a pleasure. Thanks for asking me. I'm good, and things happen to be slowing down towards the end of the year. I'm not as busy anymore. I made all my deadlines and I handed in when I had to, and today I have time.
Oh, so awesome! Yeah. Thank God for small mercies. Do you do silly season?
I do family. I don't do. I'm not religious, and the whole Christmas thing is not really my thing, but I do like food and I like family. So
do you do traditional ham and turkey and all that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Cool. That's the one thing that I do about Christmas as well. Yeah. Like you, I do a very good ham. And last year I did the best one ever. And I can't find the recipe. So I've been searching the net obsessively to try to find the ham recipe that I did last year, and I can't remember what it was. So you said that you're not religious.
I'm not religious, no.
Okay. Did you grow up with religion?
Yeah, I think my parents, out of trying to keep me on the right path, felt that religion was, Christianity specifically, was the way to do that. But I started questioning it. I moved away from it. Became what I would call a staunch atheist. And then eventually kind of find my way back to my own understanding of spirituality, if you will. Yeah.
Okay. So the religion was organized religion in terms of church?
Yeah, in terms of church. Did the whole confirmation thing. Went to Sunday school. NG, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you did Sunday school, did the confirmation.
Did the whole thing, yeah.
Okay.
Nachtmaal.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
I think I did one Nachtmaal. And that was when I got confirmed, and then I never went back again.
Yeah. It's I struggle to stay awake.
Is that the problem?
And I would like to go because I have heard one or two pretty nice messages that are sort of more broad that I could latch onto. Yeah. But it's just so boring most of the time. So,
my older sister and I could never sit still. And she always played with her jewellery in church, so she wasn't allowed to wear any jewellery, and I wasn't allowed to kick my legs. So I always had to sit next to my mother so that she could kind of keep me. So I was the youngest, so I had to sit next to mother, and my older sister had to not wear jewellery because she constantly made a noise and all that kind of stuff. And now she has converted to Greek Orthodox.
Oh, wow.
And they have these long services, so I don't know how the hell she does it. But anyway, that's not my mother's problem anymore, which is okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the Platteland, Western Cape Platteland.
I was born in the Northern Cape, about 80 km from a town called Calvinia.
Okay.
In a small town called Loeriesfontein.
Oh my God, I heard of Loeriesfontein before.
Yeah, it exists. It's a real place.
It's on a map.
It's on a map.
It's got its dot.
It has a spar.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's where I was born, in the vast open spaces of the Great Karoo.
And how old were you when you moved away?
I was 9 or 10.
Okay, so you still have a memory, you at least have a memory of it. Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
My earliest memories are
cool.
of that, yeah.
Last year, at the end of winter, when winter just didn't want to go away, I just said to my husband, I'm sick of this cold. I want to go somewhere where it's warm. I want to go on holiday, and I want to be warm. So I booked a holiday for us in the Karoo for December. We got to 46 degrees twice.
It's a different kind of warm.
Dry heat.
Yeah.
I was happy. I really was. So you can remember the heat and...
I enjoy the heat. I love the heat.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, I remember just sleeping. And I couldn't figure out why I didn't want to do anything. And then I remembered that going outside just is...
He just taps everything out of you.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I do enjoy it. I
Okay.
like the heat.
And then from Louisfontein?
We moved to the west coast to a town called Vredendal,
Okay.
where I spent another 7 years. I think I moved with my parents from there when I was 16. So that was from, let's say 7 years.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So during the hormonal phase, storm and drangjare,
Yeah.
you were pulled out of your safety zone.
Into a new,
Oi.
into a new school.
How did
setting.
you find that?
Traumatic. In hindsight, obviously, at the time I didn't realize.
Yeah, not in touch with your feelings.
Yeah, but it was a traumatic experience. It takes me a while to speak to people. I'm not really comfortable speaking to people. So making new friends was always a challenge for me. And at that age,
Oh yeah.
it really was a challenge. It took me long. It took me a really long time.
Why did you move?
My father worked in education
Okay.
all his life. So he got a promotion and then
Okay.
had to move. And it looked like the better deal for
Yeah.
everyone. Better schools for me and my brother, better facilities for them. It just seemed to make
Okay,
sense.
yeah.
It was a difficult time for me. Yeah.
That's when you came to Paul.
Yeah. That's when we
Okay.
came to Paarl.
Cool. And are you only 2 children?
Yeah, just me and my younger brother.
How old is he? Oh, okay. What's the age difference?
9 years.
9 years
Yeah,
difference. Okay.
yeah. So he was born just before we left Louisfontein.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you get along?
Fantastic. It's my best friend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. So he must be late teens now. I've got no idea how old you are.
I turned 32 in a few
Okay.
days.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
on the 31st of December. I turned
Oh my God, what an awful time to have a birthday. Because everybody possibly forget your birthday.
Funnily enough, no.
No.
No, I think that might be because of Facebook now.
Okay.
So- but I used to really love my birthday because on the 31st of December,
was
no
such
matter where I went, there was a massive party going on.
Oh, yeah.
So it was perfect to just slot
Yeah,
in.
there
and
was
have
a
good time.
party, yeah.
Now I like to sort of wake up on the 1st of January, nice and quiet,
I hear you.
go for a run. You know?
Being, if you were a true egocentric person, you could feel, this is my party. The whole world is celebrating my birth.
Yeah.
There was possibly a phase in your life where you did believe that.
I think it might have felt like that at some point. Yeah.
Listen, so at the age of 16, you arrived in a relatively bigger dorp called Paarl.
Yeah.
And were you a boykie? Paarl boy, or-
No, I was not. I went to Paarl Gymnasium,
Okay.
and it's a rugby school. It has a massive focus on sport, specifically rugby. And I happened to find the drama group
Okay.
and started doing drama. So
Bad you wanted to fit in. Bad decision if you wanted to
really
fit in.
bad decision if you want to fit in. So I had a bit of trouble fitting in. But I mean, I found a small group of friends who I don't really have contact with anymore, and kind of made it work. It was also the perfect thing. It had to happen because I now make a career out of that. So
Yeah, fantastic.
yeah.
So, after school, you studied drama.
Yeah. So after school, I took a year.
Took a gap year.
I took a gap year.
Oh, wow.
I went overseas for a
Is
little
it?
bit. Yeah.
Where did you go?
I went to America for 4 months.
What the
Yeah.
hell did you do in America?
I worked at a summer camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I worked in Wisconsin for a few months, which was good. It was a fantastic learning experience. I discovered that I liked to write while I was there.
Okay.
I also unfortunately discovered that I really like to drink while I was there. So that was the start of a different journey. Yeah, so 2 things came out of that experience. Was
Okay.
that I really liked to write and I really liked to drink.
And you're still busy with one and left the other.
I'm also now a writer by profession and left the drinking. Yeah.
The two did not go together, did they?
No, well, not coherently. In any case, so.
It worked fabulously while you were doing it at the
Yeah.
time, and afterwards trying to make sense of it.
Trying to edit that is just, it's torture.
Okay. And coming back from Wisconsin, that's when you decided that drama is going to be it.
Yeah, I think I decided there. I don't recall making the decision, which is an interesting thing for me. I know that when I left high school, after having done the sort of the final play in my high school career, I was kind of toying with the idea of going to, and then the next thing I can remember, I was the first year at drama school.
Oh wow!
Without having spent much time thinking about it, so to me it feels like I was just kind of drawn into that.
Do you have to audition to get into drama school, or can any? I mean, you have to. Any idiots really can't just walk in and say, "I want to be an actor."
The process now, I think, is a bit more. I think you do have to audition now.
Okay.
When I applied, I had to write an essay stating why I thought that I should be allowed into drama school. That, incidentally, was also a year full of academics, and I'm the only actor that came out. I'm the only person still working from that year. Yeah, everyone else kind of started doing something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that stage in your life, where did you stand spiritually? Did you have any concept of spirituality?
I'd say I was searching. I'd at that stage already let go of the idea of organized religion.
Okay.
I became friends with an atheist who was convincing. And he was also convincing because he knew the Bible so well that he could point out all these contradictions in the Bible, and he made a very compelling case for just the fact that there, according to him, was no God. At least not the God that's mentioned in the Bible.
It's interesting how people with such a good knowledge of the Bible can also be such good contrarians, if that's a word where one can use.
Sounds like a star sign, but yeah.
But we've got a friend whose father was a pastor, and he always said, I wasn't taught the Bible, it was Murdin to me. And he really, really knows the Bible well. So therefore he became the most blasphemous person ever, because he knew the Bible so well to change everything.
Yeah.
So he became a very huge enemy.
Wow.
Because he had that knowledge.
Wow.
Same with your friend.
Yeah, he would close to being what I would call a Christian basher at times. Just because he could take apart their entire belief structure by simply refuting whatever they would say to him. He had the knowledge to just counter that with with
was
different scripture.
Was this at varsity?
This was at varsity, yeah.
Oh my God. And then we also in that phase where we philosophical
and so smart.
The arrogance of youth is what I like to call it. And then you grow up. And then
yeah.
Okay, so you were searching, and did you, except for atheism, is that a word?
Yeah.
Did you find anything else?
I did not. I tried various things. At that stage, what happened then is I kind of found psychedelics, which became another way of looking for spirituality, which can feel very, very spiritual.
Yeah, and very real.
And very real. So that became my truth for a while. Was was just using different plants and different chemicals to try and understand the spirit world. As much as I want to say it worked, I don't have anything tangible to show for it.
Okay.
I can't use those experiences that I had. So
it felt real at that stage, but it didn't take you anywhere.
Yeah, it didn't take me anywhere.
So we call it false promises?
I had a psychologist who said to me it's like visiting outer space and coming back empty-handed, which is exactly what it felt like.
That's a nice one. I like it.
Because I did these massive searches and just came back with more questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me it didn't really, didn't help.
It must have given you a kind of a lost feeling?
Yeah, it did. Also because I think the psyche, the human psyche is such a vast, scary place that to wander in there unassisted and unaccompanied it's a terrible thing. So I would often come back just feeling so lost and so empty, and just not knowing where exactly or what I'm looking for even, and certainly not finding anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And after varsity, what happened then?
I was one of the luckiest actors in the world. I walked straight out of varsity. In my third year, I auditioned for a TV series. I got the job and I moved. So I left varsity straight into a job.
Oh, wow.
And started working, yeah, and never really asked any questions.
And you're still working until now. That's excellent.
Yeah, I've been fairly lucky. There have been times when I've had less work, but I suppose that's normal in my profession, at least. But yeah, I'm still a working actor. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where did you move to?
Johannesburg.
Oh my word, city of sin. And what did you find there?
Sin.
Yippee!
Yeah.
That's what it's there for.
Oh wow! No, I found hard work and I found hard partying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where in Joburg did you live?
I stayed in a few places. Mostly I stayed in Auckland Park for a while.
Okay.
And then I moved to Ilovo.
Okay.
Yeah, and I stayed in Ilovo I was only there for a year, and then my contract ended, 1, and 2, I was terrified of Johannesburg and being there on my own.
Yeah.
So I was 22 then.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was not, yeah.
That's a young age to be brought from. I mean, Paarl is a small town.
Yeah, I was still. Definitely was not ready for the big city.
Okay. Where did you study? Stellenbosch or UCT?
Yeah,
Stellenbosch. Okay,
yeah.
so also a small town.
So coming from a small town, I wanted to be barefoot in the mountains.
Yeah.
You know, or at least, yeah. So I left Johannesburg as quickly as possible.
And came back to Paarl.
And came back to, yeah, I was kind of in between Stellenbosch and Paarl at that stage.
Are your parents still in Paarl? Where are they now?
No, my parents my father retired
Okay.
and moved. He now stays in Langerbaan, close to the beach, like he's always wanted to do.
Lovely.
So, yeah. So no, Paarl is not, I don't know, I don't think I ever called it home. It was just the place I stayed. Funnily enough, it's the place people associate with me when everyone still sometimes people still think I stay there.
So do I.
So, and to me, I always have to say, no. I recently signed a contract that I had to amend because I said, why is there Paarl on here? I haven't stayed in Paarl for years.
So where are you? In Stellenbosch?
I rent a place on a farm just outside Stellenbosch.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So that must be quite conducive for writing.
Mm. It's fantastic for writing. I have this view of the vineyards.
Oh, lovely.
I just open my curtains and kind of sit and stare. Yeah.
And what type of stuff do you write?
I write for a TV series. I write for soap. So
is it? Oh, wow.
It's television writing, yeah.
So you're a paid writer. You're a real writer.
I'm an actual paid writer. The thing is, the thing that since I made the plan to, I want to be a professional, right? I want to write professionally. It was kind of strongly suggested that I write every day.
Okay.
So I can't afford to do that. I just can't. I don't have the means. The financial means to constantly to write every day. So I've made a way of kind of practicing, and then it's a long story. But I eventually been 2 years in the making, and this year started writing for this TV series.
Awesome.
So now I can practice writing every day and get paid for it, which is fantastic.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Listen, and how did it happen that you got this job? People know about you? Did you present? I don't know. How does one get a job as a writer?
What happened was I've always wanted to write, and then my writing would come easier if I had a glass of red wine, and then maybe 2 glasses of red wine. Then after the 3rd glass of red wine, the writing would take on a different kind of feel.
From romance to pouring 1 glass of wine.
It became so strange. And I also I really like to get stoned. So I tried to get stoned, and because the ideas I had when I got
Yeah.
stoned,
Oh, I can so identify with
but
that.
then my
Wow.
brain, my hands couldn't keep up with the
Yeah.
speed that my thoughts were moving at. So I was useless, and I couldn't.
And the next day you can't remember those
can't
brilliant
remember those
ideas
ideas,
you
yeah.
had. That was always the worst. While I'm stoned, I would think, I must remember this, I must remember
Yeah,
this, I
yeah.
must remember this. And tomorrow, a few minutes later, it's gone.
Even the notes that I kept didn't make sense.
Are you serious?
I wouldn't understand what I was trying to say. The notes
Aye.
make no sense. Then when I stopped smoking and stopped drinking, 6 months after that, I completed my first film.
Okay.
I wrote a film. Then I wrote another one. This was complete by what feels like a fluke that I got that job. I had written a...
Sorry, films that were made.
Films that were made. So these... yeah.
I hope you believe in some form of God, because it definitely sounds like some form of God is out there looking after you, like in big time.
I do. I made peace with the fact that I can be quite lucky. So, so what happened is I wrote a short film. It was intended to be a short film, and then became a pilot episode for a TV series. That I'm still trying to sell this thing. Anyway, so I took it to a producer, and the producer, I didn't know why he wanted my email address, but he said, "Can I have your email address?" And then entered it into his computer. 2 days later, I got a call from the head writer for this new project I ended up then writing these 2 films for them.
Oh, wow.
So that's how that came about. And that's how my career as a writer started.
Okay.
And then this year, I approached the TV series that I'm currently writing for and said, "Hey, this is what I do now, can I start?" And then there was a whole process of them testing me and sending scripts back and forth, and eventually they said, "Okay, cool, we like what you do, you can start." So
Fantastic.
so that's where we are now.
Would you say you living your dream? Or is Hollywood your dream?
No, Hollywood is not my dream. I ask myself this quite often.
This wasn't supposed to be a strict question or a...
Yeah.
It was actually a close-ended question. A yes or no.
What I decided, I have these little walks that I take where I kind of pray, if you want to call it that. And I have this discussion with my understanding of God or the higher power or creator or whatever you want to call this entity. And I need to check, obviously, constantly where I'm going, and you know, if the ideas that I have for my life and where it's going align with sort of the divine idea for where my life is, the bigger plan. So then I thought, if I am going to do Hollywood, then it would be with a show that I have written.
Okay.
Either a show, a movie, a TV show, or a movie that I've written, that I've created. I don't agree with the Hollywood kind of model of fame and ego-driven kind of
the whole
the
I'm
worship
with you on that
of actors. Just because I think it's unhealthy. I think it's unhealthy for anyone's ego to be
that inflated.
Yeah. So it's a conflicting idea for me. Yeah, even though it would mean kind of success and hopefully financial success, it would mean, for me at least, a challenge spiritually. Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing what you love. You're doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's as close to living your dream as you want to. The question is just, so you're living your dream, do you want to make the dream bigger or not? And that's kind of what you're thinking of and what you're praying about and what you're debating with your entity bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So from what I can gather is that there's definitely a being, an energy that you tap into. Do you have any idea what that is?
I have no idea what that is. I have no
but
idea.
It's definitely there.
It's there, and the contact is very real for me.
Okay.
And I have the experience, and I often speak about this experience because it's so profound for me. When I first kind of made contact with this, when I was first able to really pray and have a connection when I was praying, was when I had come to what people would call a rock bottom. I had no idea where my life was going. I was physically depleted. I was emotionally depleted, and I didn't know what to do with my life. And the only thing, kind of out of desperation, that I could think to do was to call out to something.
Yeah.
You know? At that stage, I was calling it God, because that's kind of the universally accepted name for this thing. And funnily enough, and I don't know if this is because I was just still under the influence, which I don't think I was, or if it was I climbed a mountain, maybe it was endorphins doing, I don't know what it was, but I sat on this mountain and I had a pretty much an hour-long conversation of like just me asking questions and getting answers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was a big turning point. So I don't really care what I was speaking to. The point is that at that stage, it helped.
Yeah.
And it shifted my life into a direction where I could actually start making changes.
So that was the rock bottom happened, and after rock bottom, the spiritual awakening happened. You can nearly call it that way.
Yeah,
that lifted you off your knees and said, okay, let's go a different direction and see if this works.
Yeah, that was the moment of, I suppose, moment of clarity, I guess you could call it. Yeah.
And how did your life change from that moment? Did it?
I'm quite stubborn, so it didn't change immediately. It changed for about a month. And then I kind of forgot that. I forgot that there are certain things that I need to do and certain things that I really can't do. So it was good for about a month, and then I remember the day actually. I was like, my life was so amazing. I'm going to go out and celebrate.
Bad idea.
So I went out and I celebrated and I fucked it up. So I eventually, at least at that stage, I knew where what I should be doing.
You had knowledge of the difference of the other side, of how different it can be. Yeah. So was it easy to pull back to the other side?
No, it wasn't easy. It was a complete change. It really was a complete change. A change in terms of who I thought I was, who I thought I had to be, habits, friends, like everything changed. So it was difficult, but it was completely worth it.
Fantastic. Yeah. You mentioned something earlier about the kind of ego culture of Hollywood.
Yeah.
When I think of people in your profession, I think ego.
Yeah.
And if I think of you, that's the last thing I think about. So it sounds as if, notwithstanding the fact that you don't seem to be that into ego, as if it doesn't seem to hold you back. Do you think one needs that ego-driven type of persona to make it in the industry? Or are you actually an egotistical bastard when I didn't see you?
I don't know. I had a conversation with a South African actor who seems to be kind of nudging at the Hollywood model, or nudging at. He's doing a lot of Universal Pictures films, and he's in Cape Town. And we spoke about this. We spoke about he kind of turns that on. He turns on that kind of Hollywood bravado.
Okay.
That we see it as being egotistical. They just see it as
that's what needs
to happen. So I have a feeling that it is kind of that a certain level of arrogance is needed. I'm just not comfortable with it. If I could have success without fame, then that would be fantastic. Also because I get anxious in large groups of people. So I really don't like large groups, and I don't like a lot of attention. If it is needed, then I'm in trouble. I'm trying to find a way of achieving as much success as I can without inflating the ego.
Okay. Yeah. If you could find that balance, that ego balance, success balance, what would the ultimate picture of your life look like?
Sure. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I think that for me, I feel like we kind of need the ego to survive in the world as we have it set up at the moment. I also don't think that a complete death of the ego is necessarily a good thing.
Yeah. Well, there's no way I can see that. I can't conceptualize that at all. And I think that there's quite a lot of spiritual practices that kind of what's the word, proclaims the death of ego.
Death of
which
ego,
kind of,
yeah.
what? What exactly do you mean?
Yeah.
For a self-centered bastard like me, no, it's not going. It's not going to happen. Don't even think about it. It's a thing that sells you.
Yeah.
Because your job is ultimately a sales job.
Yes.
Which is weird to think about. Like my job at the moment as well. It's a sales job. You know. It's just, which if somebody ever told me I'll end up in sales, and the product I'm going to sell is myself, I would have, oh my God. I can't do this. This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yet we seem to be able to do it. So, what do you do to keep yourself spiritually fit? Before he answers this question, I just need to say that he's definitely doing something to keep himself physically fit, because you have, since I've got to know you, you have changed a lot. Is physical fitness part of your spiritual practice?
Physical fitness is part of my spiritual practice. It's also somewhat of an obsession. So I think the physical fitness started, my mother's an athlete. My father's an academic. So I always went running with my mother. And,
oh, cool, nice.
And that was, so it's still, and I'm just rediscovering that. I just about 4 years ago, picked that up again.
Oh, fabulous.
And carried on with it.
I saw a picture you posted on Facebook once, I finished a 10K with your mother. And I thought, how awesome is this to be able to run with your, with your mother? Yeah.
It really is good. And I really enjoy being
Is she still around? Is she around?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see her often, there's regular...
Yeah.
Okay.
And a fantastic relationship that I have with them now.
Awesome.
The spiritual fitness, physical fitness ties into that, especially running, and especially running outdoors, is one of the best ways I've found to just...
Do you do road or trail?
Trail.
Is it?
Yeah.
No. You talk about anxiety.
Yeah.
Trail running for me, I get so anxious.
Really?
I'm constantly afraid I'm going to fall.
Yeah.
And for me, running is a part of my meditation practice.
Okay. So you need to go into autopilot.
And I go into autopilot, I disappear into a world of, I count my steps.
Okay.
So it becomes just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's from my hurdling days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I don't know, I disappear. In trail running, I can't do this. And you constantly need to concentrate about where you put your feet.
Yeah.
And so I don't find it relaxing. And I become quite anxious about the fact that I could fall, I could hurt myself.
Right.
You know, I'm a fag, I don't want to smash my face. It might do it favors, but I'm not going to go there.
I think that's what is appealing about trail running for me, is the fact that it's so all-encompassing. Like, I need to give it all my attention.
You need to be present.
Yeah,
the adrenaline
present.
rushes. So
if there's a lapse in concentration, you fall. I think that's what I like about it.
Okay.
And I've seen people fall, and I've fallen myself. I stopped doing long runs. I limit myself at 10Ks.
Okay.
But just because I discovered the last time I went longer than 10Ks, I was approaching the 10K mark. And I was like, my body doesn't enjoy this. It's just...
My favorite distance is 10Ks.
Yeah.
It's short enough to go relatively fast.
Yeah.
And long enough to be really challenging.
Yeah.
Anything longer is my body also just kind of... but then I am slightly older than you are. So one has to listen to more and more to the old body as you grow older. So what other spiritual practices do you do?
I do... Okay, so something that's come on my path that has been phenomenal in terms of keeping spiritually fit has been practicing the 12 steps.
Okay.
Which I do regularly, or it's an ongoing thing. And then to have an actual out loud verbal conversation with something, with
Step 11, conscious contact.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's a big one for me, and that I do regularly. That I go for a walk, and I just this is another reason why I need to stay on a farm, because you can't walk around the city speaking, talking out loud. It
sounds lovely. It sounds very idyllic.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it really is. It's. I need it.
Yeah.
So yeah, or maybe I've just become accustomed to it because this is how I've been living for a while. I keep looking for, if I have to move, I look for another house on a farm.
So you're still relatively young. Don't you find it kind of isolating acting isolated, or do you need that for your writing?
I think I need that as a person. It's fantastic for the writing. I don't.
So the person needs it and the profession gains from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely am happier and healthier with solitude.
Okay.
And then I can choose
To engage
with people.
Yeah.
But mostly I just need to.
Okay. So we're talking exercise, we're talking prayer, meditation, nearly in terms of the walking as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And you do service, so that's excellent.
Yeah.
You've never said no whenever I've asked. For that, I'm eternally grateful. Anything else?
I think this has been a sort of crucial definition for me. Was when someone defined spirituality once in quite a practical way, and he said spirituality is simply the way that you interact with the world. So I think that is probably the most ongoing practice of spirituality that I have, is that I tend to see everything as a miracle. So, and this is trained behavior. This isn't something I was born doing.
Yeah.
It's something I had to teach myself. There really is something wonderful in every moment.
Yeah.
You know?
That's excellent. Now, you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but understand there's love. Love in the air. Is that, did you go out and look for it, or did your higher power bring it on your path?
I think it's the latter. So I was in a very long relationship that ended. And then I said, I really don't want another relationship. Not now. So I was kind of hoping to just take it easy. And
if you want God to laugh, tell him your plans.
I'm going to spend some time just focusing on what I want to do, and not have to take someone else's wants and needs and desires into account.
Yeah, because it's hard work.
It is, yeah, it is. Recently discovered I'm in some way still thinking like a single person, kind of making plans like I'm the only one involved.
So that will be pointed out to in no uncertain terms.
But yeah, and then accidentally kind of met someone, and we really get along.
In your industry?
Yes, in my industry.
Ooh. I'm a couple.
Not at
You
all.
magazine,
So
here we come.
This has been fantastic. Is that she's also really opposed to
fantastic.
to the glamorization of individuals.
Oh, cool.
So it works. Yeah.
Is she here in Cape Town?
She's in Stellenbosch. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's local.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fabulous.
It all just seemed to work out.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear that. I don't know why when I asked you the other day, I don't know why I asked you, but I always look at you and think, you're such a nice guy. I hope there's a girlfriend somewhere. So I was very excited when I heard there is one.
Yeah.
She shared the love with somebody else. So my last question, and I'm going to ask it in a standard way. And are you happy?
Also a question I keep asking myself. Am I happy? Yes, I am happy. But there's somehow this happiness is always kind of leaning into being unsatisfied.
Okay. Discontent. No, discontent is too strong a word.
I struggle
Feeling
with,
there must be more.
Yeah. But I enjoy creating more. I enjoy knowing that if there is more, it's up to me to find that way, to find the way into what
to
else
take responsibility
can
for that need that is inside you.
be. Yeah.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm completely happy with where I am and how things are going and what I have achieved and what I am achieving, both professionally and spiritually, and personally.
That's excellent.
So there are moments when I feel I should be doing more. And then
That word should.
Yeah.
Ban it.
Yeah.
Ban it. Should good word.
Should good word. Damn it. So whenever it comes up, I need to. That's usually when I take a long walk.
Okay.
And have a proper, nice heart to heart with my higher power. For me, when I say things out loud, it's just a way of I get some perspective.
Yeah.
Because I'll have this thought in my head, and as soon as I say it loud, I realize how ridiculous it sounds.
That's really interesting what you're saying. I have this thing where if something bad, it's normally bad. If something bad happens to me, I cannot say it. I cannot tell somebody. It's as if the minute it's out of my mouth, it's real.
Right.
And for as long as I keep it in, it's not real. And when I eventually get myself to open my fucking mouth and just say it, then the reality is actually not that bad. Do you have a pet?
I do, yeah. I actually have a few pets.
Oh, cool.
Out of the previous relationship that ended, we have 2 little dogs. There was actually a fuckload of animals.
What type of dogs?
The one's a schnauzer.
Oh wow!
It's the cutest thing, and the other one is a dog.
A real dog.
I'm not sure what she is.
Fabulous! I love that. I think I love those the best.
They are fantastic. Really low maintenance. And they just go. And then we rescued these 3 kittens. Sorry, that were. It's a long story. I ended up bottle feeding these 3 little things because they still had the umbilical cord on.
Oh my god!
And the mother was nowhere. So then there were these 3, and I still have one of them. The one ran away, and the other one is staying with a friend's mother. So currently, with me, I have 1 cat.
Okay, so 2 dogs, 1 cat.
2 dogs and 1 cat. The dogs don't stay with me. No.
Okay.
No.
Awesome. Because I can see you kind of with an animal. I don't know why.
I love
just
animals,
in the romantic picture in my head. That's the way it should be. And what's a writer without something that is dog lying at his feet to a cat lying close to him? It
does seem strange for me.
Do the cat go on walks with you?
The cat
Are you
does
serious?
go on walks with me.
Awesome!
Yeah. The cat
Awesome.
loves walks, so I just kind of call it, and it
That's fabulous.
runs along and is very vocal when we walk.
Oh, sweet. Jock and I went on a holiday, in that same Karoo holiday where we were so fucking hot.
Yeah.
We ended up in Plett and we stayed on a small holding. And those people had lots of horses, lots of dogs, and 3 cats. And every afternoon, they would take the dogs for a walk. And did all the dogs in a row and the 3 cats. It was so sweet. All 3 cats went for a walk. And they got all 3 cats as kittens at different times. But the cats grew up with the dogs. So they just got used to it. And it was so sweet to see these cats go on walks. Now, I take Dyson for walks every morning.
Oh, nice.
Because he's so vocal.
Right.
In the previous complex, they complained that he is too noisy. So we can't let him out.
Okay.
So I take him on a walk with a leash. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And most people go, I've never seen a cat going on a walk. Oh, this one does. Marvin, thank you so very much. I enjoyed this thoroughly. It was good to, number 1, to get to know you better, and number 2, to just learn about your spirituality and spiritual journey. But I think what I liked about this chat, was your sense of peace that you have. It's really lovely.
It's at the risk of sounding egotistical, it hasn't been easy to find peace.
I thought you were going to say, wait until you get into my head and discover it's not like that.
No, I do feel quite peaceful.
Awesome.
I do feel like most days like I'm on the right path.
Fantastic. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great to have Marvin in the hot seat today. We had a great laugh when we started recording, because I started brabbling away in Afrikaans, only to look up and see a very confused look on Marvin's face. I only remembered afterwards that I wanted to ask him about his involvement in flame eating, or is it flame throwing? I just always see these most amazing pictures on Facebook, and I would have loved to hear more. Well, next time hopefully. I have this beautiful romantic picture in my head of Marvin's life as a writer and actor, living on a farm with his cat and being beautifully spiritually connected to everything around him. As we can hear from our chat, things have not always been easy for him, but the sense of connection and gratitude that he is experiencing seems worth it all, and also worth aspiring to. It is at times like these that I nearly want to rethink our decision to not have a television set. We also hardly ever go to the movies as well, so I'm not in touch with his work at all. It sounds as if Marvin is managing to live his dream, and for that I applaud him and have immense respect for him. I wish him all of the best moving forward. If you have any feedback or remarks, please feel free to pop me an email or connect on social media. It will be great to hear from you. If you want to know more about what I do, please feel free to connect with me on my website, which is www.freddy.org.za, or find me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/freddy.org.za, or on Twitter at @RensburgFreddy. Remember, the Freddy is always spelled with an IE at the end. Be safe. Bye.